Hey guys, what's happening? This is Only Music here. This time I'm going to be coming at you with a TG plant deck, but before I go any further, I want to give a shout out to lfunntube on YouTube. I got the deck idea from him after watching his TG plant video. I did make my own personal tech choices, as the new format is a little bit different from when he made his TG plant deck profile video. So anyway, this is sort of my take on it. Big shout out to him. Link is in the description box as well as somewhere floating on the screen. So for those of you guys who don't know, plants are this engine that lets you pretty much go into any level synchro monster that you can even think of. There are some restrictions, but pretty much every single level you have access to. TGs are an archetype that sort of speed up synchro summoning, and that's why I thought they'd be a great archetype to put into the plant engine. And also I do like decks that have sort of like an archetype feel, so TG plants are pretty darn good, and I love playing them. Anyway, I'm just going to show you the main deck here. So first off, for the TG monsters, you have two TG Rush Rhinos. What this card does is when it attacks, whether your opponent has a monster or not, it gains 400 attack, so it goes from 1600 to 2000, and it's pretty good. And all TG monsters, or I should say most TG monsters, share this effect that when they're destroyed and sent to the graveyard, they get to replace themselves. So if Rush Rhino is destroyed, I get to replace it with any TG monster except for Rush Rhino, which is really good. This also happens during the end phase, so it's like Dark Soul. Next up, we have three TG Werewolves. What this guy does is that whenever a level 4 monster is special summoned, either when you do it or your opponent does it, you gotta special summon him. And it's really good because if you, let's say, have two of these and your opponent special summons, let's say, Thunder King Ryo from the graveyard or something, you get special summon 3 of these, and it's really crazy. So it's amazing. Finally, to close off the TG monsters, we have 3 TG Strikers. Basically, the Cyber Dragon of the deck. When your opponent controls a monster, you get to special summon him. And it's pretty awesome when you have a TG Werewolf in hand because you can go into a 5 right away. Anyway, I'm just going to put these off to the side and show you what we have next. Next we have 3 Reborn Tengus. Really annoying card, you guys know what these do. Tengu plants, all of that. Next up, 2 Kaises. I've been trying out a build that has no Kaises, but 2 Elder of the Six Samurai plus 1 Xian Spoke Signal to make your own Xian. It's pretty freaking amazing when that happens. It's pretty amazing. And your plant engine, Lone Fire Blossom, hit to 1, sucks. Dandelion, Spore, and Glow Up Bulb. So you're pretty much your 4 for the engine. And your 3 random monsters, Gores, Sanguine, and Effect Veiler. I want to push Effect Veiler up to 2 if possible because she is a great card to stop a lot of effects this format. Anyway, that's the monsters. I'm going to go into the spells now. So 1 Dark Hole, pretty much a staple in this deck. Foolish Burial, another staple. Heavy Storm, Mind Control, Monster Reborn, 1 for 1. Pot of Avarice, hit to 1, sad. 1 Book of Moon, and finally 3 Mystical Space Typhoons, and I want to make this one a gold if possible. And to close off the deck with the traps, we have 1 Mirror Force, 2 Starlight Roads, and this is a freaking amazing card in this format. Stops a lot of things. Judgment Dragon, stops Black Rose Dragon, stops just you name it. Heavy Storm, Torrential, Dark Hole, all of that. Gotta have these, and I'll also show you why in my extra deck later. 2 TG1 EM1s gets you out of a lot of sticky situations where if you're staring down like a huge monster and all you have is a puny little TG monster, all you do is you just flip this up and you just switch control of the monsters, and the effect is permanent, and you get to pick which monster you get to switch for, so it's pretty good. Finally, 1 Torrential, 1 Solemn Judgment, and 2 Solemn Warnings, and I was able to get a 2nd Solemn Warning that is ultimate, courtesy of my friend Raymond, so props to him. Moving on to the extra deck now, we have 1 Formula Synchron, got hit to 1, unfortunately. 1 Armory Arm, 1 Ally of Justice Cataster, 1 Bryanak, 1 Guy Knight, 1 Black Rose Dragon, 1 Scrap Dragon, 2 Stardust Dragons, and this is pretty much corresponding to the 2 Starlight Roads that I have that I showed you. 1 Shooting Star Dragon, because you can, 1 Trishula, and for the TG stuff, you have 2 TG Wonder Magicians, 1 TG Hyper Librarian, and 1 TG Blade Blaster. And yes, I have gotten Blade Blaster out before, and it was just amazing. I also did get TG Halberd Cannon out before, but it's a little bit too hard, and if anything, I would much rather have Shooting Quasar Dragon over this card. Also, I've been trying to fit in this Steel Swarm Roach. This is courtesy of my friend Raymond yet again, so props to him yet again. Really great card if you guys aren't aware of what this guy does. Pretty much, if you, or if your opponent tries to special summon a level 5 or higher monster, you can detach one Exceeds material monster and destroy it. So it's a really good card. Definitely try and run it if you can. Anyway, that has been it for this deck profile. Sorry it ran a little bit longer. If you want to see more deck profiles for you in the future, please rate, comment, and subscribe. Also, I'll be having a lot more hobby videos going on here on Oni Music. So thanks for watching, guys, and peace out.